Welcome! So Dave has transformed into the beautiful Jen Rooney. Jen's our head baker. She's amazing, she's brilliant, and she's here to do vegan scones 4 ways. Woo!
So what I have in this bowl here is my spelt flour, and I have some baking powder.
Could you use normal flour instead of spelt if you wanted?
You could, yeah. So what I have here then, I have sugar. So I'm using caster sugar today, but we could use coconut sugar if we wanted to.
If you wanted to have something higher in fibre.
Yep. So
how much flour?
I have 1 kilo of flour in here, and then I've 120 grams of sugar. So it's quite low in sugar content as well. So
brilliant.
We're going to
and the whole idea is that we're going to make one big batch, divide it into 4, and just season them differently, and you'll end up with 4 different types of vegan scones.
So I've just blended in here now the caster sugar. I have baking powder in here, and then just our spelt flour.
Cool. How much baking powder are we putting in?
I have 15 grams of baking powder.
Okay, cool. So that's about 1 little teaspoon.
Yeah, slightly over. Now that I have it all, the dried ingredients blended, we're going to separate this into 3. So I'm just going to divide this into 3. Pop that in there.
So we've made one batch, we've divided into 3 separate bowls for 3 different varieties of scone.
Pop in the apple here first.
Okay, so you just took normal apple, just peel the skin off and
chopped it up into little pieces, yeah.
Nice.
And then
cinnamon.
Cinnamon. So I'm only going to use 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. You don't want it too hot. And this one here is going to be our sultanas.
Oh, nice. And this one here will I go with the raisin?
Yep.
Or raspberries?
So the fresh raspberries, we're going to pop that in there and give them a toss.
So that was just a handful of fresh raspberries, just give it a nice toss. Will I mash them in through it now or no?
Just kind of flake them in because you want the bits of raspberries where when you open the scone, you've got a nice chunky bit of raspberry to look forward to.
Yeah, great. Jeez, I love playing with flour and dough. It just feels so lovely. So we're just making a little well in the centre?
Yep. So, and then I have just coconut milk here.
Yeah.
And I've kept the cream and everything. So I've just given it a little mix together so all the cream and milk have mixed together.
Brilliant.
So this is all the fat content
we'll need. Full fat coconut milk.
Yeah. So we're going to just pop a tiny drop in there. So I'll give
you... So it's about 100 grams in each one?
Yeah.
Or 100 mil, sorry.
100 mils.
So that's full fat coconut milk that's all just been mixed together?
Yeah. So
and just in there and give it a good mix?
Yeah. But you're kind of giving it a mix in the centre where it's nice and soft. You might need to add a little bit more.
And we don't want to work scones too much because if you do, you'll release the gluten and they'll start being a bit tight, isn't that it?
Yeah.
Top tip. It just naturally comes to its own kind of, I guess, one big ball.
So it becomes nice and, to keep it nice and soft.
Beautiful. Woo! Okay, cool. We have our 3 doughs ready. We're going to do another one now. This one here, just to recap, we've raspberry. This one here, we've apple. This one here, we've sultana. This one, we've apple and cinnamon. Okay, so now we're going to do our wholemeal. We've three doughs there ready, and our last one is a wholemeal scone. So in this, there's 300 grams of wholemeal flour. So you could use whatever type of wholemeal flour you're into, and then
200 grams
of white. We're using spelt here. You could use whatever type of white flour.
And then I've got 10 grams of baking powder.
Okay, nice. A rising agent.
So it is a little bit more than what was in proportion to what was in the other one, but it's because the wholemeal flour takes,
it's more dense. Yeah, it needs more to give it lift off.
Yeah. And then I've got 60 grams of sugar in there.
So we're using 60 grams of caster sugar. You could use coconut sugar if you want to use something. And if you do use coconut sugar, it's often a little bit granular. You might want to blend it till it's a little finer. It just makes all your scones go brown. So this one, that's why we kind of used white, just because you get just a more traditional look to them. And in goes, coconut milk. So we got about 100 grams again?
Yeah, it's probably about 150 in total. We're just going to mix it through, again, because this flour can be a little bit greedy, so it tends to like the moisture.
Greedy, I like that. It does look more dense, doesn't it, as a dough?
It does, but when it comes out, they look a fluffier scone.
One of the good things about making vegan scones, no egg in it. You can eat the batter raw. Very tasty.
It is. It's a lovely batter. So we'll roll out the white ones first.
Okay, cool, great. So we need a baking tray, is that it?
We do, to place them on.
Okay, put a bit of oil.
If you've a bit of baking parchment, would be better.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to roll them on the table here, but I'm actually going to more pat them out than roll them because I don't want them to break up.
Okay, just before we put them in the oven, we're going to give them a quick glaze. Traditionally, people would use egg white.
They would, or a drop of milk. So we're going to use
A little bit of coconut milk.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just helps them brown up nice and even. So we're going to pop them in an oven at 180, and it's going to be for 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
Yep.
Great. And you'll just smell them. They smell epic.
You will.
Great. Woo! 35 minutes up. It's time to get these scones out. Smells amazing. Wow, those whole wheat ones look fab. Epic. Beautiful. We're going to put them, we have a wire rack here. We're going to put them out here. Oh, it's hot to handle.
Get used to it after a while.
Beautiful. You'll see these did actually puff up more. That's probably because the more gluten in it and just a slightly more baking powder. Look fab, absolutely epic. We get stuck into them.
Yep.
When are you going for? I've already go for him. He's just ready to be ripped apart.
Yes.
So we're going to serve them with coconut yogurt and a little bit of strawberry chia jam. And I will go for raspberry. Homemade coconut yogurt. Check out the vid if you're wondering how to make coconut yogurt. Oh, here we go. Cheers, Jen.
Cheers. Let's go for it.
Oh, there's something magical about a warm scone. Yeah. Absolutely delicious. Rockin'. Jen Rooney, you're a genius. I'll take it. I'll check it out one. Look.
Cool, I love scones.
With jam as well.
Here we go.
But
Should go with a bit
sweetened
of
better.
both. Okay, so what we got? Basic vegan scones.
That's vegan scone, that's a wholemeal one.
There's a lovely crunchy edge.
Let's try that one.
Delicious.
Oh,
Okay, coconut yogurt. Delicious.
beautiful.
Perfect. My kids will top off them, and that's the #1 sign.
Beautiful. Great work, Jen Rooney. Dudes, highly recommend making them. Absolutely fab. Jen Rooney's amazing. Check her out. It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for subscribing. Cheers for watching. Share with anyone else that would watch vegan scones. Cheers, dudes.